Hi, this is Karen. I'm with InspiredByGram.com. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a really pretty birthday card using the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper and 4 different ink colors. So let's go over the Designer Series paper. This is the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. It's in the annual catalog on page 166. If you really like this paper, you better get it because it'll be retiring in June, I'm pretty sure. And then the stamp set we're going to be using today is Beautiful Friendship. Again, this comes in the annual catalog. It's kind of a 3D distinctive kind of stamp with a watercolor effect to it. And we'll be using this sweet little rose here, these rosebuds, birthday sentiment, this nice little rose here, and the leaves that are over here. Okay, so let's talk about the card in general. We're using Blueberry Bushel, and that's a retiring color. So you've got to get your ink refills and any of your paper that you need before it does retire in June. So I've got a layer here of Blueberry Bushel. I've got Blackberry Bliss. I've got the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. Then I have this nice little 3x4 piece of vellum. And then I've got matching Blueberry Bushel punch out with the, what is this called? The Label Me Lovely punch. It's a new punch, and this is a 2-inch circle. And I've got this sweet little polka dot ribbon here as well. And on the inside, we've got a 4 by 5¼ inch Whisper White panel. And then we've got a matching envelope as well. All right, so let's get started creating the card. The first thing we're going to work on is our envelope and our inside panel, because we're going to be doing, basically going to be doing the same stamping. You're going to need a, since we're working with photopolymer stamp sets, you're going to need your piercing mat and some scrap paper. Okay, and I know it's white on white, sorry about that, but oh, it's the way it goes, right? All right, so our ink colors here, our palette is going to be Blueberry Bushel, Old Olive, Flirty Flamingo, and Petal Pink. And you can hear my cat, she's saying hello. All right, so we've got the Flirty Flamingo I'm going to start with. And we're going to start with the inside panel. I'm inking up the big rose in one time, and then we're going to set it aside. I'm putting it right in this corner there. Now I'm going to wrap around the rosebuds with the Petal Pink. All right, so I'm just going to angle this right around this rose here, kind of hugging it. And then I'm just gonna kind of just go out here. Don't do the same pattern, okay? You want it to look different. And then over here as well. And then I think I'm gonna add another Flirty Flamingo rose. So I forgot to do it over here, so let's see how we can do this. I might be able just to do a hint of a rose in that corner. Yeah, that works. All right, so now I need to get the leaves in there. And let's get the Old Olive. Now with the Old Olive ink, it's a little bit too dark for my taste. So what I like to do is I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to stamp on. I'm just going to kind of put those throughout. Maybe one off to the side over there. One over there. One there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I like to work in odd numbers. So let's just put one up there. It looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's do our envelope. Same thing. We kind of want to mimic what we just did to make it all coordinating. And I'm going to ink up with the Flirty Flamingo in the corner. And then those rosebuds, we're going to again just stamp them over here in the corner. Just hug that one there, maybe one there. And then I'm going to come back with a Flirty Flamingo, add one over here. Again, odd numbers, because odd numbers are a little bit more pleasing to the eye. And then I'm just going to add another, let's see, turn it this way, rose up in the corner there. Okay. So that looks all good. Now we've got to add our leaves again. Old Olive ink, stamp off, and then stamp on. Just kind of put them throughout. And it's okay if you go over the color there like I did. It looks fine. All right, so now I'm going to close up all these inks because we are done with these, and we'll just need the Blueberry Bushel for our sentiment. So no need to put our fingers in those. All right, so for the sentiment, you're going to need a piece of Whisper White, and I've got a big piece of scrap here. I've got my Blueberry Bushel ink. Again, that color is retiring, so make sure you have your ink refills all ready to go, so when you run out, you'll still have ink to add to your ink pad there. All right, so now we're going to be using the 2-inch circle punch to punch this out. And I'm just going to center it in there best I can, grip it, and then punch. And I'm going to close this one up too. All right, and now we need to take the Label Me Lovely punch. This is new in the mini catalog. It's great. I like it. It's so big. And now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere your sentiment to that label. I'm going to use my snail adhesive. And I'm just going to put it on here. You're not going to have much of that Blueberry Bushel showing, but just enough of it to make that sentiment pop out. All right, so that looks pretty good. All right, so now the rest we need to do is just kind of assemble our card. And I like to use, oh, let me go over the card sizes here because I don't think I did mention that. This card base, Blueberry Bushel, of course, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. The Blackberry Bliss is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And the Designer Series paper, Perennial Essence, is 3 3/4 by 5. And when I'm working with an 1/8 of an inch border, I do like to use the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue, just because it's you know, it just gives you enough time to move it over with that 1/8 of an inch border. Okay, that looks pretty good. I actually did a pretty good job there. Sometimes I don't. Struggle with an 1/8 of an inch sometimes, but I find that the liquid glue does really help you out. And then this one, since I've got a directional pattern, because I don't want my flowers going upside down, I'm making sure that they are going the correct way before I do apply it down to the card base. Okay, and now what we can do is add our inside panel. I just used my snail for that, with a 1/4 of an inch border on all 4 sides. Then we're going to take the polka dot. This is the, what is this? The polka dot tulle ribbon. It's been in the catalog for, I think, 2 years now. So I like it because you can kind of see through it. And it's going to go behind the vellum that we're going to be putting on top of this card, so you'll be able to actually see that polka dot ribbon through the vellum. This is about 18 inches of ribbon. And I'm just going to make sure it's flat on the inside. And we're just going to tie a knot over here. You could tie a bow if you'd like, but I'm just going to simply tie a knot. Okay, and now we're just going to trim the ends off. Now we're going to slide this knot over towards the edge of that Designer Series paper, but not like maybe a 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And we're going to add this vellum on top here. Now this piece is 3 by 4, okay, and you have to put the adhesive in the middle. And I'm going to show you why. If you put it on the outside, you're going to see the adhesive. You could use your snail if you want. So now what I'm doing is I'm looking on all the corners here, or the sides, make sure it's evenly distributed. Now I'm just going to rub this and make sure it doesn't shift. Okay, that will set in place. So now while that is drying somewhat, we're going to add dimensionals to the back side of our sentiment. And I'm only going to add 3. I can get away with that. I'm just using the bits and pieces of the edges here. Never throw these away, you guys, because they work just as well as a regular size dimensional. All right, got those off. Now I'm going to add this, and I'm looking at the ribbon here, making sure it's in the center. And I'm also looking at the edges here to make sure it's in the correct placement. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now to finish it off, I'm not sure if you noticed on the sample card that I did, but I did add these little embellishments. These are the frosted flower embellishments. They come in 3 different colors. Rich raspberry, petal pink, and like a clear kind of white color. So I'm going to use the take your pick tool to release them from that plastic they come on. I'm going to put one over here in the left lower corner of that vellum. I'm going to take one of these petal pink colors and I'm just going to put it down here on the designer series paper, kind of at an angle here. And then I'm going to take this clear whitish one and I'm going to add it to the top corner of that vellum there. And there's your card. So a sweet little card that all coordinates together. Let me just open it up for you. There's the inside, there's the front, and here's the envelope. And again, here's the one that I made off camera. Same card design, and basically the same look as well. All right, for your Stampin' Up! Needs, you can visit me at inspiredbygram.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.